Idioms are phrases that we use to compare situations to other situations. They are a shorthand. They are a way to say something so that you understand it quickly without having to explain it. The English language has over 25,000 idioms. That is just an estimation. I'm sure there are new ones coming up all the time. Today we're just going to talk about 15 idioms that are animal idioms, meaning that they use animals in their comparison to explain a situation. The first one is hold your horses. Hold your horses means to just wait or slow down. The likely origin of this phrase comes from a time when people used to travel by horses or use horses a lot more than we do now. And it would just mean you hold your horses, you hold the reins of the horses, you stop the horse from moving, you wait here for a moment. Hold your horses. Pretty straightforward. You could use this in a situation where somebody is trying to go too quickly or they're being impatient, and you could say, wait a minute, hold your horses, slow down, give me a moment, hold your horses. The second phrase is to let the cat out of the bag. Now, letting the cat out of the bag means that you let a secret out. So if somebody doesn't know something, like, let's say your brother is going to be getting married and he hasn't told anybody, but he only told this one person, and then this one person started to tell other people, listen, don't tell anybody, but Jimmy is getting married. And now the secret is out, the cat is out of the bag. So somebody let the cat out of the bag. The origin of this phrase likely comes from a story where there was a butcher who was selling meat, selling pigs, and would put them in bags, lie to people by taking their money and giving them something that they didn't pay for. Later on, when the customers put the bags down and the cats run out of the bag, now the secret is out. The cat is out of the bag. The third phrase, one of my favorites, is the elephant in the room. You use the elephant in the room when everybody knows that this topic is looming, it's around, but nobody really wants to talk about it. Imagine you're sitting in a room, I'm sitting here in this room, and there's an elephant standing behind me, and we're just going to have a regular conversation and nobody's going to talk about this elephant. So that is the elephant in the room. The elephant is just the obvious thing that nobody wants to talk about, is the elephant in the room. The next term is raining cats and dogs. Raining cats and dogs means it is raining very heavily. If I say, what's the weather like? And I say it's raining cats and dogs, that means it's very heavy rain. The origin of this is unclear, but there are two ideas. One idea is that it comes from Old England, where way back in the day, when it would rain heavily, it would wash all the dead animals, the cats and dogs and mice, into the storm drains. So it would seem as if it had just rained cats and dogs. Another idea is that it comes from a Norse mythology where cats and dogs represent thunderstorms. Raining cats and dogs just means heavy rain. 5, barking up the wrong tree. If somebody says you are barking up the wrong tree, it means that you are looking in the wrong place for information. You're asking this person, where did the missing candy go? Somebody else might say, listen, you're barking up the wrong tree. He has nothing to do with it. The origin of this phrase seems to come from hunting or hunting dogs, because hunting dogs look up at a tree and bark to tell their person where their prey is and where they should hunt. So barking up the wrong tree means that you're actually looking at the wrong tree to find prey animals. He thought the squirrel or he thought the pheasant was up in this tree, but it was the wrong tree and he had just barked up the wrong tree. 6, birds of a feather flock together. This phrase is used when two people that seem to be alike, they seem to like the same things, they have the same interests, maybe they dress the same. An observer could look at them and say, hey, birds of a feather flock together. This term originates from the idea that birds of the same kind stay in the same group. So sparrows and ducks don't necessarily fly together or flock together, but sparrows might flock together, or starlings will flock together. Swans might flock together. So birds of a feather, birds that are the same, they are of a feather. 7, let sleeping dogs lie. Let sleeping dogs lie is used in times when maybe you're asking somebody questions or you're bothering somebody over something that could disturb the peace, meaning that you're about to restart an argument or start an argument. Let sleeping dogs lie. Leave him alone. Don't ask him any more questions. Let sleeping dogs lie. And this comes from the idea that if you wake up a dog when it's just resting there, if you poke the dog or suddenly wake the dog up, it might suddenly wake up and react very aggressively. So let that sleeping dog lie. 8, a fish out of water. A fish out of water refers to a time when somebody feels uncomfortable in an unfamiliar situation. An example of this might be, I move to a new country, I don't speak the language, I don't understand the culture, I feel like a fish out of water. The origin of this is kind of obvious. If you take a fish out of water, they are very, very uncomfortable and they cannot survive out of water. So being a fish out of water just means you're in a new place or in a new situation or in a different situation where you're very uncomfortable. I feel like a fish out of water in this situation. 9, I haven't heard this one in a while. Ants in your pants. Ants in your pants refers to a person that is very fidgety and restless and they just can't stay still. And somebody might say to them, what's wrong with you? You have ants in your pants? Why don't you just relax? Please relax. Do you have ants in your pants? Ants in your pants, obviously, if you have pants full of ants, you're going to be itching, you're going to be moving around, it's going to be very uncomfortable. Ants in your pants is not a comfortable, restful state. Relax. What's wrong with you? You have ants in your pants? 10, a wild goose chase. A wild goose chase would usually refer to a time when you are searching for something or trying to achieve something that is hard to attain. Like, I don't have a specific goal, but I'm running around and I'm trying to do these different things for an unspecified target or an unspecified goal. You could say, I feel like I'm on a wild goose chase, or don't just go on a wild goose chase. First, plan this out. This phrase originates from basically chasing a wild goose. The wild goose would be all over the place. There was also a 16th century horse race called a wild goose chase, called this because the race was somewhat hard to follow. I'm not exactly sure why the race was hard to follow. Perhaps they were going over various types of terrain or different directions, but wild goose chase. 11, cat got your tongue. Cat got your tongue is like a question. What's wrong with you? Cat got your tongue. Somebody that's usually talkative, now today they are not speaking. What's the problem? Cat got your tongue, meaning that you are afraid to speak. So this is used at a time when somebody seems overly shy or afraid to speak. Possible origin of this is in the 1800s, where sailors, for punishment, would be whipped with a whip called the cat of nine tails, then shortened to the cat. And you would not want to speak out of turn because you don't want to get whipped with this cat of nine tails. So, cat got your tongue. 12, piggyback. Piggyback is just to carry somebody on your back. I'm giving this person a piggyback. Maybe your son or daughter says, I'm tired, can you please give me a piggyback ride? The origin of this term might be pick a back. Pick a back meant to carry someone or something on your back, kind of the way that you might carry a pig from the butcher on your back, which would later be changed from pick a back to piggyback. This is more like a position. Piggyback ride is when you carry somebody on your back. 13, crocodile tears. Crocodile tears refers to fake tears. So don't show me those crocodile tears. It means you're showing tears, but you're not really crying, you're not really sad. Crocodile tears. So crocodile tears means fake or insincere tears because crocodiles sometimes shed tears, but they might even be shedding tears while they're eating, which means their tears are not necessarily tears of sadness. This is the origin of crocodile tears. 14, busy as a bee. I'm busy as a bee recently. I've been working a lot. I'm busy as a bee. I think the meaning is obvious. Anytime you see a bee out in the wild, they're constantly collecting nectar, they're collecting pollen, they're flying back and forth. You hardly ever see a bee just hanging out and relaxing. So if I'm constantly working, constantly moving, I am as busy as a bee. 15, night owl. A night owl is somebody who just stays up late. So I am a night owl. I like to go to bed late. I am a night owl. Morning larks, you stay at home. Night owls, come with me. Let's go party. Ooks, 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 ooks. And the last one, which is a bonus, is when pigs fly. If I say, I think I'm gonna play in the NBA, and one of my friends will say, you will play in the NBA when pigs fly. When pigs fly is never. Pigs will never fly. Pigs will never fly. I will never be in the NBA. I will be in the NBA when pigs fly. This one is obvious. Pigs are too big to fly. They don't have wings. Impossible. Pigs are not flying when pigs fly. Quiz time. 10 questions. Let's get through these quickly. Number 1. What does hold your horses mean? Be patient, ride faster, let go of the horses, get angry. 2. Where does let the cat out of the bag come from? People hiding cats in barns, market sellers who put cats in bags instead of pigs, a trick in circuses, farmers trying to catch wild cats. 3. What does the elephant in the room refer to? A quiet room, a big obvious problem, a circus visit, a scary animal. 4. If it's raining cats and dogs, it means lots of pets are outside, it's raining heavily, there's a pet parade, the weather is calm. 5. When you are barking up the wrong tree, you are chasing a cat, following the right idea, making a mistake, doing what dogs do. 6. Birds of a feather flock together means birds are nesting, people with similarities spend time together, birds are building nests, people are ignoring each other. 7. Let sleeping dogs lie suggests don't disturb a peaceful situation, tell the truth, chase the dog away, wake everyone up. 8. What does ants in your pants mean? You feel calm, you are dancing, you feel restless, you are singing. 9. If someone sheds crocodile tears, they are truly sad, swimming with crocodiles, faking sadness, smiling. 10. What is a night owl? A bird that flies during the day, a person who enjoys the morning, a person who stays up late, a type of bird that sings at dawn. If you have any other idioms that you could think of, there are 25,000 of them. Surely you could think of others. Let me know. Thank you for watching. Let me know if there's any particular aspects of English that you're having trouble with. See ya.